Hey babes, it's Sophia. Just popping in for a little note to let you know that I am taking the month of March as a little break from the podcast. I've got you covered. We're going to pull some of the most favorite episodes, but also I want to share some of the underrated episodes that have a lot of the juicy stuff that I am finding myself repeating, not only in my coaching sessions, but on my free Spark calls. So maybe you've heard these before. I invite you to re-listen with a new ear. And if you haven't, then please do enjoy. They are a lovely visit into some of the skills that we need to master in order to have naked, sexy fun in our long-term relationships. With that in mind, I just want to mention that I only have 7 spots left in the Naked Fun Comeback, which is my signature program to help you go from awkward and pressure-filled sex or no sex to easy, comfortable, and consistent intimacy that feels good for you both. This iteration of the Naked Fun Comeback is essentially a 4-month coaching program. It comes with 4 months of curriculum that you can do in your spare time, I promise. It's 30-minute videos once a week for you to listen to on the private podcast or in the video stream, and minimum a 30-minute date night once a month, ideally once a week. So if you can listen to a 30-minute video or 30-minute lesson once a week, and you can do a 30-minute date night with your partner once a week, you are going to see progress. The magic is that right now only, I am still offering one-on-one coaching in this offer. So you get a customized journey through the curriculum. You get me in your pocket every single day, except for the weekends, helping you pivot when your initiation move went sideways, helping you process when your date night didn't go as planned, and helping you celebrate when things are going well. I am hearing such amazing things from my clients in the program. We've got a couple that interrupted their duty sex cycle that was happening for several years. They had an amazing weekend away. She wanted it. She was asking for more. They are debriefing on the regular and building a sex life that feels so good for them. And I even have men and higher libido partners who have joined the program alone, who are engaging their partners in connection, even if it's not intimate yet, for the first time in a while. And they now have a step-by-step process to follow with me coaching them by their side. So this is the most affordable this program is ever going to be, with the most access to me that you can ever get. Get in on one of those spots. If you can't find a time to book a coaching call with me, just DM me on Instagram or email me and let's get you sorted. I would really love to see you in there. And otherwise, really juicy things are coming for the Naked Fun Comeback program. I'm excited for everything that we're going to roll out later in the spring. That is all I've got to say. Without further ado, enjoy this week's episode, and I will talk to you soon. Hello, my friends. Sophia here. Welcome back to another episode of the Sex After Kids podcast. Today, I want to do something a little bit different. I want to invite you directly to join me in the Naked Fun Comeback, my signature program for parents. And if you've been listening for a while and something in you knows that it's time for a change, then let's make this the time we go back to school, back to fall, back to learning to get your sexy back. If you are curious about how I work with people, if you are curious about the results that I get for people, whether you're considering joining or not, it's worth a listen. I still think that you will learn something. So let's rewind in time and talk a little bit about why I even created the Naked Fun Comeback. So I created this program because I kept seeing the same stuck patterns. Couples try counseling, they buy books that sit unread, they download apps they never open, or they bring home new toys and lingerie that just sit and fall flat. None of it sticks because most advice out there is too generic or too clinical or just not realistic for parents in the thick of it. So a lot of the sexuality coaching that I see out there is very like, be your most orgasmic self in 30 days, or learn how to squirt, or get back your feminine energy. And I really just didn't see anything for those of us in the trenches, whether it's with teens, whether it's with toddlers, whether it's right after kiddos, where really the main goal is actually to just keep a version of our intimate life alive so that when we get out on the other side, we can be our most orgasmic self in 30 days. Right now, yes, can juicy orgasms be on the table? Absolutely. And they're not going to be on the table if we're barely touching each other, barely flirting, and fucking like less than, a couple times every couple of months or something like that, right? Essentially, when it's irregular and we are not flirting and there's heaviness around sex, the stuff that I see other sex coaches sell just feels really out of reach. So I wanted to create something way more practical for you. Consider it like the foundation. We want to strengthen the foundation of your sex life so that when you do have the time and you do have the capacity, then you can sign up for the stuff that takes you to really, really deep, juicy, spiritual, transformative places. I also built this program because when I used to coach women solo, so many of them were on my couch because they were hoping to fix their libido so that they could stop feeling like the problem, essentially so they could feel like their partner would just like get off their back and leave them alone. And the challenge is that sex after kids, sex in any time, isn't about fixing one person. It's about learning and playing and reconnecting together. And what I found was I could coach women to like have better orgasms on their own and overcome some of their trauma. But if their partner wasn't coming along for the ride, then she was sort of outgrowing him. And I was worried that that would create like a new kind of disconnect in your relationship. So the idea of doing this program together or starting solo and then joining later as a partner was really meant to give you the tools as a team to get the sex ed you never got, as a team to learn about how your bodies work, as a team to learn how to create safety, as a team, mostly so that we can life-proof your sex life. Because the reality is kids coming along is probably one of the first things that's created pressure on your sex life because it affects at least one person's body in a really big way, both people's identities and your relationship. So it can feel like a truck hit your intimate life. But perimenopause and menopause, or getting autoimmune disorder, getting cancer, having a parent die, like all kinds of shit in your life is going to create the same truck. And so when you invest in learning these skills to rebuild that foundation, you are like bulletproofing your sex life essentially so that when peri comes, when menopause comes, when the big life changes come, you can always come back to these skills and find each other again and again and again. So that's really kind of like what was behind creating this program. So the people that I work with, the people this program is suited for, experience a couple of the following things. And I'd love for you to listen and kind of let me know which you're experiencing. So most of them want more passion, more play, and more intimacy after kids. And sometimes it feels like they're the only one initiating or they're the only one who cares about sex or their sex life. You might be stuck in an initiate and avoid cycle where one of you is rarely in the mood, the other one has lost confidence, and nobody knows how to kind of break out of that cycle. You might be at a point where you're nervous to even bring up the topic because it feels like you'll start a fight or maybe even end things. Maybe you're just in an era where life is busy, you are sleep deprived and stretched thin, and you're wondering how to make time for connection. And you've probably tried date nights or, doing more chores or doing all the like right things and nothing has kind of changing. And if this is what it feels like, then I want you to stick with me because here is what we do in the Naked Fun Comeback. So when you join the Naked Fun Comeback, initiation becomes playful, not pressure. So we help both of you to become more confident, masterful initiators so that no one feels like the needy one and nobody's left dreading the next ask for sex. I help you build a bridge back to connection. So you learn how to reconnect with these mini dates, fun touch sessions, and real conversations that cut through the awkwardness and create genuine desire. We hack your busy life to create space for real intimacy. So we make space for flirting. We make space for sex. We make space for connection, even when you're both running on fumes. And I actually teach you how to embrace sex as something that can give you energy rather than something that costs you energy. We ditch the shame and the awkwardness with practical, low pressure games and tools to break out of the spiral of guilt and shutdown and isolation. You'll learn your unique, sexy blueprint. So we demystify your libido and your partner so that you can draw a new map to pleasure. Yes, even if things have felt off for a little while. So in a nutshell, the bottom line is we're going to get you out of the merry-go-round of avoidance. The merry-go-round of avoidance is one person initiating all the time and feeling rejected and unloved because they're getting turned down. One person dreading being asked to have sex because they're feeling a lot of pressure and guilt. Somebody either creating a high pressure situation or caving because they feel like it's time. Occasionally that turns into a pretty good experience. Otherwise, it's mediocre. We don't talk about it. We just let the awkward silence grow. And then we're less excited about sex. We flirt less because we don't want to lead a partner on, or we flirt less because we're worried we're going to get rejected. And the loop continues where we're not flirting, we're not connecting, we're not playful, we're not light, we're not having sex. And this whole part of our relationship feels off and it's spiraling into the other parts of our relationship. With the Naked Fun Comeback, I help people to initiate in nervous system aware ways, meaning working with instead of against the stress and the overwhelm that you're feeling in this season of life. I teach you how to throw a party that your libido or your partner's libido wants to come to. We get better at communicating so that we can talk about the kind of sex life that we want to create. We get better at giving and receiving pleasure and giving and receiving feedback. And we are always learning and observing what has worked and what has not so that we are continuously improving and investing and making this part of our relationship better. When we do that, it's like we flip the frown upside down and we create a positive feedback loop where we initiate in new ways, which means we get more maybes and yeses. We're having sex that isn't forced or pressure filled. We're relaxed. We're getting good feedback. We're having a great experience. We're debriefing, which means we feel like we're on a team and we're working on this together. We're flirting and connecting with each other on the day-to-day, which means we're more open to sex, which means we're having sex more frequently, and on and on and on. So this is the positive feedback spiral that we're wanting to create. And whether you're starting with a partner who is pretty resistant to sex right now, but at least open to having conversations about how we can change this, or if you feel like you're the one who needs to step up and start taking the lead, the program's designed for one of you to start alone and take the lead, putting the effort into doing the work, or for both of you to start together. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the clients that I am working with and the wins that they are seeing in the program. So I have one mom who joined the program several months ago, and she came to me absolutely at war with her vagina, like I used to be in my 20s. So after 3 kids, felt uncomfortable in her body, constant gyno visits, lots of pain during intercourse, and through the support of the program, she was able to initiate a sex date, and she used the tools to make sure that it was a pain-free, positive experience. So they had their first her-initiated sex date that didn't hurt, that didn't get shut down, that went all the way because of working with me in the Naked Fun Comeback. Then I have another couple that joined the program that they've been such a treat to work with. They have been working with some of the mindful masturbation tools, which have massively shifted and undone some of the deep religious sort of cultural programming that they've had around sex. In particular, the higher libido partner was able to realize how much pressure he was putting on himself to be the initiator of sex. And when he realized where the pressure to initiate came from, and that it wasn't just a drive to be intimate, that there was this pressure, this programming in him, it made it a lot easier for him to pull back and ease off on the pressure, which allowed his partner to lean in a lot more to feeling intimate. So these are just some of the wins that we are seeing in the program, some of the wins that you can start to experience as you learn how to work with the nervous system, improve your communication, shift your mindsets and stories and beliefs around sexuality, and rebuild your relationship to pleasure, both sexual pleasure and non-sexual. I've built the whole thing so that it is bite-sized. It is realistic to your life. You get one lesson a week for 16 weeks, I think 4 months, because we're talking real life pace, not overnight transformation in 30 days. You only need to be able to commit to minimum 1 30-minute date night a month, 1 a week if you can. So basically between 1 and 4 date nights a month. that only have to be 30 minutes. We are not talking 3-hour sex marathons here. And there needs to be a commitment to like trying something new. The whole course is in a dedicated course library, and you get access to me one-on-one coaching through Voxer. That's through like audio messages for the first 4 months of your access. And we also have group coaching calls every other week, which you can participate in anonymously or fully on camera, depending on your comfort level. So there's lots of ways to get one-on-one support, lots of ways to get targeted advice, lots of ways to get help pivoting and responding to how you apply the lessons. And you can also just do the entire thing on your own if that's what works best for you. And it's a blend of theory with doing. So we're doing a lot of doing differently. That means interactive date nights where you sit down with your partner, you press play, and all you do is listen and follow along. And then you observe and see what happened. You share with me. I help you go deeper. I help you go bigger. I help you go better. And by the end of that time, we've built a habit of a low pressure, playful connection in your relationship where we are initiating by working with the nervous system in the body. And we feel like we're thriving in this season of life instead of just surviving as a couple. That's the ultimate goal. Before I let you go, just like a couple worries or like questions that I often get. The first is my partner's not really game, but I do think this could help us. And I say that's totally okay. You start solo. Lots of people do. There are tools that you can learn to help you approach the situation differently. So especially as a higher libido partner, you may be falling into the trap of wanting to change your partner. You're like, if their libido just got fixed, everything would magically be better. And there's lots we can do to create the conditions for their libido to want to show up. So as the higher libido partner, sometimes it's worth starting with the thing that you can control, which is yourself. And when you show up differently to the situation, when you change the way you're asking for intimacy and the way you talk about intimacy, you change your partner's receptivity to it. And I'm there coaching you along the way. And then when your partner's ready to join because they're seeing the shift and they're seeing the difference in how you're inviting them to things, then we do it together as a team. The other piece is because it's so plug and play, you basically have all the tools you need to say, hey, I want to try this new kind of date night. Are you willing to do this video with me? So you have all the tools and all the coaching that you need to get started solo and bring your partner in at the end. So sometimes people ask me, well, like, what if my partner never gets on board? Or like, what if this work blows up my relationship? And the real genuine answer to this is your relationship is either going to die because you don't take any action in this area and you just sit in indecision and let your sex life completely fizzle to nothing. Or you might kill it by trying to do something, but at least you'll know you did everything that you could. At least you'll know that you tried, and you'll have gained all these new skills for a new relationship. If that is the outcome, which it very likely will not be. So I know deep down there can be this fear of like rocking the boat, of changing things, of really pushing for something. And I just really want you to think to like, what's your relationship going to look like 4 months from now, 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 10 years from now, if the current pattern persists? Are you going to feel in love, connected, and like you're modeling an amazing relationship to your kids? Or are you going to be on the brink of a $50,000 divorce? Because it's worth thinking about. Sexlessness in a relationship is like one of the number one reasons that parents get divorced, and it kills me because it's so preventable. It's preventable because the number one thing you need is the education that you did not get in high school. And that is what I am here to provide you with. Other questions or comments I get is like, we're so busy. Absolutely. I get it. I'm a mom of 3. If you can find 3 minutes in a week to listen to a lesson, and if you can find 1 to 3 date nights a month, then you can do this. Okay. The lessons are bite-sized. Everything is designed for your real life, not some fantasy land where you have 3 hours and all the money in the world to like take a weekend away from your kids. This is doable in 2 hours a month. And if you're not at a place where you can invest 2 hours a month into your relationship, that's okay. Come back when you are. What if it's been a long time since we got naked together? Really great question. Like, what if you're on a 3, 6, 7, 9 month dry spell? Totally cool. You are not alone. I have been there. So have most of the people that I have worked with. This program is designed to meet you where you're at, or more specifically, to meet the lowest libido person where they're at. So if you're in a situation where it's been a while, we are going to start with very low pressure, very non sexual activities to rebuild trust, rebuild comfort, and rebuild safety. And then we're going to build up slowly over time to the hot and heavy. If you're already having like semi-regular sex, let's say you're getting into the sack twice a month, but somebody really wants it to be 3 times a day, then we can start at a higher baseline and make the activities more sexual. With the goal of increasing frequency and satisfaction in your sex life. So the program is meant to meet you where you are. I would say the only kind of couple that this program is not well suited for is like if you are already on the absolute brink of divorce and like mentioning the word sex in your relationship is going to get you full blown dagger eyes from your partner. You're probably better suited for couples counseling because it means there's some deeper stuff at play. We definitely address, deeper relationship issues and things like the mental load and stuff like that in this program. But if you're on the brink of divorce, this program is probably not going to support you. If your partner feels a lot of heaviness around sex, but they're at least willing to admit and say out loud to you, like, this is the barometer. We love each other. We want to be together for the long haul. We acknowledge that sex is not the greatest right now and that both of us could be approaching this differently. And both of us are willing and open to attempting something new around this right now. If you are in that space, regardless of how long it has been, then I think could be a great fit for you. And if you're not sure, all you need to do is book a free spark session. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about your unique situation. I'm not here to twist your arm into something that's not going to be a fit for you. I want people that are going to have success in this program. And I will be honest with you about whether this is going to be the right place for you to start. And if it's not, I'm going to send you in the right direction. So last question is like, what if we can't do it? What if it doesn't work for us? What if we just don't end up showing to the program? And this is where I've put in my risk-free guarantee because I want you to feel like there's no barrier to you at least trying. Okay, I want you to at least try. And if you try the program, if you decide it's not for you in the first 30 days, I'll refund you 100%, or I will keep working with you until you get a result. So I want you to be able to say yes to yourself, to put a deposit down, to give it a shot. And if it's truly like my teaching style is not appropriate for you, or it's just not the right time, we will figure it out or we will give you your money back. So there is literally nothing to lose from giving this a shot. And absolutely everything to gain when you could be feeling like a whole new relationship in like 2 weeks. So we've talked about this already, but just a reminder, who is this for? Couples in long-term relationships with kids over about a year. If you have miracle sleepers, then that's cool. But otherwise, the first year is just so tough. Happy to give you some advisement and make sure you check out the podcast for the Sex After Delivery episode. But as long as your kids are over 1, I'd say you're a great fit. This is perfect for people with teenagers, perfect for empty nesters. It really doesn't matter where you're at on the spectrum of having kids. Anyone who can spend 30 minutes a week and a date night or 4 a month is great. If you love each other, but sex feels hard, infrequent, or like it takes too much effort, then this is going to be a great fit for you. If you are tired of being the one to initiate all the time, or if you are tired of not knowing how to get yourself in the mood, then this is a great fit. And if you're open to new things, even if it feels like a little bit scary and nervous, then absolutely you want to be saying yes to yourself. If you are in a relationship that is on life support and communication is not possible, if you are deep in survival mode and sleep is king, just come back when the season shifts. And if you're looking for like actual therapy and trauma healing, then I'd love to refer you to a specialist instead. So that's my pitch for you, friends. I would love to have you go and join me in the program. I've got spots for about 10 new couples to get started. What is your best best case, worst case, if you're mulling and you're not sure, well, best case is that in 4 months you'll be initiating and enjoying sex that feels easy and connected with more play and affection in your everyday life, even when things feel busy and stressful. And your worst case is that you join and you try it out and it's not the right fit and you let me know in 30 days and I give you a refund or I keep working with you until you get a result. So you've really got nothing to lose. If you are like, sign me up. If you are like, I think maybe, if you are curious, all you got to do is click the link below, book a free spark session with me on your call. We will map out your challenges, your hopes, and how this program can get you back to loving, playful, naked, sexy fun times. No push, no pressure. This is about seeing if it's a right fit for you and to give you a chance to answer your questions. So we do pressure-free spaces here. It's what we advocate in the bedroom, and it's what we're going to do on our call together. I am so excited to talk to all of you. Just a reminder, my deepest loves, you are not broken. You do not have to settle for meh sex. You can have fabulous, juicy, fun, naked times and have kids, and I am here to help you do it. I will catch you next week.